Hey friend, welcome to your March energy forecast with me, your host, Emily the Mystic. I am delighted that you are here with me to spend some time with me as we chat about the energy this month collectively. I I start off this episode with a giggle and a smile because this is a month where things are really going to be shaken up. This is a month where there's going to be some drama. There's going to be some funny things happening out there in the world. This is going to be a month where you're going to want to grab your popcorn and take a seat at the theater because things are really going to be shaken up and happening out there. And I do feel like this is the beginning of some really, I want to say unanticipated change, but for those of us in the spiritual community, we know that things are about to change. So anticipated change, this is the month where it really all begins. And I'm so excited that I get to be your guide on this journey and I get to be here to support you and help you because no matter what, we're going to get through it. We're going to figure it out. And it's all, in my opinion, my belief, happening for us and in perfect divine timing. So no matter what unfolds this month, it's an opportunity for us to lean deeper into trust in the divine, knowing that we are always supported, knowing that things are happening for our highest and greatest good. And I know often it doesn't feel like that. I know that there can be crazy things that happen that are out of your control. And I also want you to know that we are human beings on a soul journey where there is a bit of fate involved. There is some karmic destiny involved. And I very much come from a place on my channel here. And what I've really learned in my own life is that we need a balance between fate and free will. And I say that because I find in the spiritual community, there can be sort of two different energetic perspectives with this. The first perspective is this belief that you are in control of your reality. So therefore, you're manifesting your reality 24/7 all of the time. So therefore, if something bad happens to you, it's your fault. So therefore, if something happens that is out of your control, there's a part of your subconscious mind that manifested it. And I think that perspective is really unhealthy and really unhelpful because there are things that happen that are out of our control. We are not in control of things that other people go through in our lives. We are not in control of major weather events. We are not in control of the crazy things that the government may be doing or that may be happening out there in the world. We're not in control of those things. And I do feel that for a lot of us, that this month is going to be one of those months where there are things out there that happen that are very much out of our control, that you and I are not responsible for manifesting, but that are in a way very fated, very destined, because we signed up to be here. We made a contract to come to planet Earth at this time because we are here to fulfill our own individual destinies. We are here to fulfill our own individual journeys and missions. And so we have to stick around for this because it's going to be a really interesting time to be alive, in my opinion. And then on the other hand of the spectrum, there are other ways in the spiritual community, other beliefs that are going to preach a lot of fear, a lot of worry about, oh my God, we're on a dark timeline and we have to save the planet and you have to make sure that you're ascending to 5D because if you don't, your family members are at risk. No. I am here to dispel a lot of the myth and the nonsense that is being preached out there. By no means, with what I'm about to share with you in today's episode, do I want you to have anxiety about this or fear about this. I want my nervous system, my calm and relaxed nervous system in this moment to co-regulate with your nervous system to help you feel that this is a place and that planet Earth is a place for our highest evolution and our highest path, and that things are going to happen that are going to be uncomfortable, but we're going to get through it. I take Pilates. I love solid core Pilates. I go to solid core Pilates classes at least once a week. And there was a coach whose class I took only once, but she said something that really resonated with me that I think about a lot, which is that if you're ever, and by the way, this is through the context and the lens of a Pilates class, right? So when you're in a Pilates class, you're often doing these movements that you have to stay in for a period of time. You have to hold constant tension. So it feels really uncomfortable. Your muscles get fatigued and you're like, ouch, this hurts. And you want to stop and you want to take a break. And this coach said, she kept saying throughout the whole class, stay with it, stay in it. Stay with it, stay in it. And those words resonated with me so deeply, because whenever I am going through something now in my own life that feels uncomfortable, like for example, I'm recovering from a little bit of a cold, which you might hear in my voice, what I tell myself is stay with it, stay in it. You can get through it. Sometimes, my friend, the only way out is through. And that's really what we're going to be feeling during the month of March. We can't bypass this month. We can't avoid it or ignore it. We have to get through it. We have to go through it. And so with anything that comes up in your life this month, we are going to get through it. We are going to go through it. We are going to navigate it together, me and you, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how it all unfolds. Now, by the way, that little quote that I just shared with you, stay with it, stay in it, is very helpful for anything in life that is uncomfortable, but is going to help you get to where you need to be. By no means do I want you to apply that to unhealthy situations or in toxic relationships, okay? I'm not telling you to stay in your toxic relationship to stay with it, no. So don't twist my words here. I feel like I have to be very careful sometimes with what I say. But I also want you to know that with the uncomfortable things in life, that the more that we can move through it, instead of trying to go around it or trying to avoid it or try to resist it, the faster we get through it and the faster we get to the other side. So this month, in like a lion, am I right? I know there's that old saying, in like a lion, out like a lamb. And that just kept coming to my mind as I was getting ready to record this episode. And I was thinking to myself, what the hell does that mean? I don't even know what that means. So I kept popping up in my head. So I was like, I have to look this up. In like a lion, out like a lamb traditionally refers to the weather during the month of March, because of course you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in the winter season. So the month of March may start out with a bit of cold weather, and ideally it's soft and gentle and spring-like by the end of the month, like a lamb. But I feel like this phrase really refers well to the astrology this month. I do feel like we're really going to be in like a lion. The astrology really roars into place at the beginning of this month, and things will start to soften a little bit as we head towards April. But that doesn't mean we're not strapped in for a whole bunch of changes and a whole bunch of shifts to expect. So if I could use a few words to describe this month, the words that I would use are change. The words that I would use are turning point. Words that I would use are drama. And I would also use the word momentum a bit, because I feel like this year has gone by fast so far. I can't believe it's already March, but I also feel like things may have felt a little slow at the same time. Like maybe you felt some resistance in your life and you feel like you're kind of hitting a wall in some place. And because March 20th specifically, as we head into the spring equinox, spring season, it is also the start of Aries season. And Aries is the beginning of the astrological new year. So March is going to feel like we're starting the new year finally. Like things are going to feel different. The energy is going to feel different. Definitely feel like things are going to feel different. And I definitely feel like for many of us, and the guides are saying right now, karmic turning point, fated, destined turning point. Things that maybe have worked in the past, or things where you feel like you're kind of and you will have been feeling this way for a while. So I don't think there are going to be things that happen in your personal life that are totally out of the blue. There could be, but I do think there you may have a sense of like, okay, I know this needs to change. I know this needs to shift, or I know I'm kind of reaching to the end of this soul contract in this relationship. I feel like you're going to kind of reach that this month, and you're going to feel like there is a change and an opportunity to pivot your path and take a different direction. So I feel like you may reach a point during the month of March where there is that need for that pivot, and you feel like, oh, I was taking the left path and all of a sudden my little car that I'm in, the car of life, is turning me to the right, and all of a sudden I'm taking the path on the right, and it's a different vibe, and there are different people here, and it's a different way of looking at life. I feel like this time that we're going through, and the month, starting with the month of March, is going to provide that opportunity for change and things to shift in big ways. And I do feel at a collective level on the world stage, I think that there are going to be things that are happening that are just unanticipated, wild, strange, weird, just weird things. And I would encourage you to have a sense of humor about it. I find that sometimes we can get so attached and so caught up with what's happening publicly that we get so just caught up in it and emotionally attached to it. And then we let what's happening out there in the world take us on this emotional roller coaster. And I want to encourage you to take your power back. As you're listening to this episode, I don't know what could have transpired in between today, February 28th, when I filmed this, and March 5th, when this is released. But there could be things that happen. And I want to encourage you, as you get your month started, to really just be in your body, be in your vessel, be in your sovereignty. You are a sovereign individual in the driver's seat of your life. That doesn't mean that there won't be things that happen that are out of your control, but it does mean that you get to decide how you respond to it. And it means that you do not need to let life take you on an emotionally reactive roller coaster 24/7. This month, I feel like, is an opportunity to really detach from that roller coaster and to be present with what's right in front of you and the places and spaces in your own life where maybe it's a relationship, or maybe it's a project you're working on, or maybe it's a new business endeavor that need your focus. Instead of getting distracted and caught up in what's going on out there in the world, it's important to maintain your focus on your priorities and what's important to you. So I feel like I need to say that as we head into this month, and again, have a sense of humor about it. As much as you can, try to be detached. I know it's not easy, and I know that there are things that can happen that really spark, a big emotional reaction. But I also know that you don't need to stay there, and you don't need to live in that paradigm. You don't need to live in that energy on a daily basis. You can. There are many ways. Maybe it's meditating first thing in the morning. Maybe it's getting out for a walk, getting the sun on your skin, having a healthy meal. Maybe it's going to the gym. There are many ways, practices, tactical things, tangible things that you can do to continue to focus on yourself, even when life around you gets messy. And I think that's the thing to remember, is that we're all going through this together. I think sometimes when we're on a spiritual journey, we can feel very alone. Like, oh, this crazy intensity that I feel, I'm the only one going through it. And you're not. You're absolutely not. So I want to reassure you and validate you that no matter what you're feeling or experiencing, I may be there with you. Someone else may be there with you. we're as a community here in the Emily the Mystic world and universe here, we're going through these things together. So you don't need to feel so alone. And I want to remind you as well that these astrology transits that are happening are impacting all of us collectively, and they're impacting you and your family and your spouse, your partner, your friends. They're impacting your children. They're impacting your boss. They're impacting your hairdresser. Like, they're impacting everybody. So give people some grace this month. Remember to be kind this month. Remember that you're a heart-centered being. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast if you weren't. Remember to follow your heart this month and be kind, because everybody is going through something. And you're going to witness other people go through things. And it's also healthy and safe and emotionally important for you to take your power back, witness what other people are going through, give them grace, give them love, have compassion. But you also don't need to get caught up in it, and you don't need to get pulled in to the drama of maybe someone else's life changes or something that someone else is going through. So you may be witnessing things in other people's lives around you that are unfolding that may feel a little bit chaotic, that may feel a little bit hard to watch. But you also don't need to emotionally get tangled up in it. So be really aware, and the word I'm going to use here is be aware of your energy and be aware of entanglement, and where your energy is getting entangled and enmeshed with other people in your life who may be going through it. You don't need to participate. Again, you can have grace, you can have compassion, you can be a listening ear, you can offer advice if the advice is solicited, if someone is asking you for your advice, but you don't need to emotionally be involved all hours of the day and night. Things don't need to be keeping you up late at night, okay? So it's also important for you to focus on you and your path and your energetic hygiene. A practice that you can do if things get turbulent this month is to imagine that there is a plug connecting you to the collective energy, a plug that is perhaps connected. I kind of visualize it at my solar plexus. Plug connected to your solar plexus. You can visualize yourself holding onto this plug and pulling it out and setting the intention, saying out loud, I no longer am connected to the collective energy. I call all of my energy back to me now. And that is just a quick, super fast opportunity to just disconnect yourself. And I am obsessed with salt for cleansing. Epsom salt cleanses all energies. So if you need this, get yourself some Epsom salt. I put Epsom salt in a little bowl by my sink. I have it there so that when I'm done with a client, I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands with the Epsom salt. It cleanses my hands like I'm cleansing my healing hands. You don't work with clients. You can also still do this in your life. Have that Epsom salt by your sink. Wash your hands with it. It's just a good practice to get into. Helps to clear your energy. You take Epsom salt baths. You can take the Epsom salt in the shower. You can literally take fistfuls of it. And you need a good cleanse. You got your fistfuls of Epsom salt. You can rub it all over your skin if you feel like you really need an energy cleanse. Now, if you want to be a little bit more efficient, you can also buy yourself some Dr. Teal's Epsom Salt Body Wash. I'm not affiliated, but it's a great product. And I am a huge lover of Epsom Salt body washes because I find that they really help me get my energy back to baseline. So that is just a little bit of a hot tip for you as we head into this month to make sure that you are focusing on your energy and not getting entangled in places and spaces that are not yours, okay? You're going to feel a lot better. Other people are going to be on their own journey. And it's important with whatever people are going through to let them go through it. I know for me personally, and I know the type of person that comes into my space, into my world, a lot of us have a hard time with control. We want to be in control of life as much as we can. So sometimes we grip on so tightly to life because we are afraid of what could happen if we are out of control. And here's the thing, if we are gripping on so tightly, that often means that we are also gripping on very tightly to other people, their situations, what they are going through. And when that happens, very much you can get pulled into things that are not yours to manage. So this is a reminder to take your power back. Again, focus on you. And it's okay to let go of the control of what other people are going through. It is not yours to manage. Let them navigate it. It is safe to let them navigate it. Okay? And I have to interrupt this podcast episode to tell you about a product that I am absolutely obsessed with and have been loving so much. And that is Eclipse Cycle Balance. This incredible women's hormonal health supplement that was created on the foundation of Chinese medicine helps you balance your hormones so that you can feel better every single day of your cycle. For me, this incredible supplement helped me on my journey getting off of hormonal birth control and has helped me feel so good. I have so much energy. I have very limited physical symptoms, especially during my cycle. And I just feel good. So I cannot recommend this stuff to you enough. I am not a huge supplement person. I don't take a ton of supplements. So for me, it's just my daily multivitamin and this and some elderberry that I take for immune support, and that's it. And this has really changed the game for me. If you want to give it a try, go ahead, check out the link in the show notes and use code 15EmilyL for 15% off. So, with that being said, have a little bit of grace and a little bit of patience as we navigate this month together. Let's talk about the astrology and how it is all going to be unfolding. So we start off, again, in Like a Lion, we start off with a Venus retrograde on March 1st. When you're listening to this, the retrograde will have already begun. Venus is the planet of love and beauty and romance, relationships, beautiful homes, beautiful aesthetics. It's just Venus loves to be loved. And so when the planet of love and romance goes retrograde, we may find ourselves a little bit more short-tempered with the people in our life. We may find ourselves having trouble articulating ourselves in relationships. We may find that we're kind of missing our loved ones. We may be kind of two ships in the night. You know, we may have a harder time being on the same page with other people. And so, and Venus retrograde also can feel a little bit isolating because Venus in its highest expression wants to be in community and wants to connect people and wants to be social and be a social butterfly. And when it's retrograde, and especially because it is retrograding through Aries and eventually through Pisces, it's just going to feel a little crappy. It's going to feel like, I don't want to go to the social events. Like I feel a little irritable. I feel a little emotional. I feel a little reactive. So remember everything I said at the beginning of this episode, that Venus retrograde is going to impact us, especially in our relationships. We just may feel a sense of unease or just like we're not fully connected or connecting. And that may feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not you. So don't take it personally. That's a huge lesson this month. Don't take things personally, okay? We're all going through the craziness together, remember? All right. So that's the Venus retrograde. It starts March 1st. It goes through April 12th. So that's a good 6 weeks, good amount of time, nice chunk of time. So it's going to invite us to learn some lessons in our relationships. It's going to invite us to really be clear with our communication. It's going to be really helpful to be clear on with your needs and what you're asking for help with, what you're asking for support with. Be clear with your boundaries because things may just feel a little bit off. And again, it's not you. You will be very clearly shown the relationships that are not meant for you this month. You will know it. You will feel like a light switch has turned off on that relationship. But for most of your relationships, it's just going to feel, there may be just some moments of tension, discomfort that's okay. Again, it's an opportunity to talk about it and to share what's on your mind with the person that is involved so that you're not keeping these things to yourself and internalizing them. So that's the Venus retrograde. And with that being said, we also have 2 eclipses this month. It is eclipse season. Welcome to eclipse season. Here we are. Eclipse number 1 is a total lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo happening overnight between March 13th into March 14th. At the same time, we also have Mercury going retrograde on March 14th. So March 14th, a day of perhaps patience is going to be needed because things may get funky. Things may feel like they're a little chaotic, a little all over the place. Again, the drama of the month of March. So it is important that with this eclipse in the sign of Virgo, Virgo likes to be organized. Virgo likes to be of service. Virgo likes to have a purpose. Virgo likes to have something to focus on, something to do, a place to be. And so with this eclipse, you may feel a little knocked off your center, a little bit ungrounded, a little bit out of control. For my control freaks out there, you may feel a little out of control. And it's if you've ever had one of those days where everything just happened to go sideways and by the end of it, you're just kind of hysterically laughing because you're like, I can't believe this happened and then this happened and what the heck? Like this, I couldn't have even imagined that this could happen and I never anticipated this in a million years and whoa, wild, but you're laughing about it. I feel like that's sort of the vibe. It's a clown show. So yeah, don't take it personally. Like it's just going to be a time. Like we're just going to have a time. So that March 14th date is going to be a great day to rest or check out from the world. It's not going to be the best time to travel. I'm never going to tell you not to do anything. March in general for travel is going to be a little bit unpredictable. So I would say expect the unexpected with your travel plans and just make sure you've got a plan B to your plan A and a plan C to your plan B and many plans in place. And you've got the directions and you know where you're going and you've got all your dots crossed and you've read the contract and you've made sure that you're aware of what you're signing up for. It's just one of those months. So again, Mercury retrograde starts March 14th, ends on April 7th. So like I said before, this kind of in like a line out like a lamb, mid-April, we'll start to feel things calm down a little bit. So there's light at the end of the tunnel and things are and will be getting better and improving as we head into the summer months. So there is summer vacation ahead, but just hang in there this month. And then the other thing I want to say about these eclipses is that, as I was saying at the beginning of this episode, fated, destined turning points, things that you may not have expected, or there could be things you're like, whoa, like I never saw this coming. Even for the most intuitive of us, myself included, we cannot know everything. We're not omniscient. Yes, we have God source energy within us, but we're not God. So I say that because sometimes as intuitive people, we make ourselves wrong. If we're like, oh my God, I didn't know that was going to happen. Like, what the hell? I'm a scam artist. I'm not a channel. I'm an imposter. Because I couldn't predict that this crazy thing was going to happen to me on this date. It's okay. Like, you're a human. Like, it's okay. Don't stress. I can't predict everything. Truly. Like, please. I'm just here giving you the energy forecast. So we're just doing our best, we're doing our best during these interesting times. Anyway, with that being said, things may feel destined or fated that you did not anticipate. So there may be some relationships that fall apart. There may be some even friendships that fall apart. There may be some things in your life that don't go the way that you planned. Things that rapidly end or that maybe close up sooner than you were expecting. And I don't know exactly what this is, but I do feel a sense of perhaps there being some restriction this month that's coming from outside of us. So that could be governmental regulations or rules or something that creates a bit of restriction. Again, I don't know exactly what this is and what is involved with this, but I feel maybe like we're kind of held back a little bit. That isn't to say that there won't be change or momentum built this month, but that you may have to have, again, a plan B to your plan A. Like things that you thought could happen in a certain way may not happen the exact way that you were expecting. So just be aware of that and be patient with it. Just be patient as that all unfolds. And Mercury retrograde itself always brings just about times that the weird technology glitches and so forth. There could be some weird things collectively that happen technologically. So I would be aware of that as well. Like I would not be surprised if we saw social media outages for a day or two, or power going out for a day or two, depending on where you live. I feel like there's going to be some interferences with technology this month. So just be aware of that. So just double save your work and double check your work and double check the emails before you send them, and make sure that you send the email, and just watch your back a little bit. Protect yourself, again, by double checking. And yeah, I think that will be really a helpful perspective to have on this month as well. Then we head into the spring season, spring equinox, March 20th, that astrological new year begins. And then we have another eclipse on March 29th. This is a partial solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. There's a lot of movement in the sign of Aries this year in general. A lot of outer planets are moving into the sign of Aries. There's a lot of energy around Aries. That doesn't mean that if you are an Aries sun sign that it's going to affect you personally. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that the sign of Aries, there's a lot of activity moving. So this eclipse at the end of March in the sign of Aries. Aries is a sign that likes to be in control. It likes to be the CEO of its life. It likes to be the boss. It likes to get up early in the morning and be productive and get things done and be busy. And I just feel like Aries energy may feel a little bit held back this month. I feel like it may not be able to get things done in the pattern and the way that it would like to get things done. So that eclipse may just be unexpected and strange and fated. And what you can do, by the way, if you're curious about how the eclipses are going to impact you personally, you can pull up your birth chart, go to astro.com, astro.com, put in your birth information, pull up your birth chart, and check to see which house in your birth chart. There are 12 houses, 12 sections of the pie. Check to see what house Virgo for your first eclipse and Aries for your second eclipse fall into. We all have all 12 houses in our birth chart. So just because you don't have a planet there, just because you don't have a symbol in that section of your birth chart doesn't mean that that sign is not activated. So depending on where you have Aries and Virgo in your chart, again, the first eclipse is ruled by Virgo. The second eclipse is ruled by Aries. Those two places may have a theme that comes up for you. So for me, I am a Taurus rising. So Virgo falls in my 5th house of fun and play and romance and all sorts of things like that. So it could mean that I feel just like a little bit restricted from having a good time, and maybe some things happen in that area of my life that I need to take a look at. And then Aries is in my 12th house of spirituality and the subconscious mind and my internal world. So there may be some things, some internal work that I have to do, some internal healing that I have to do towards the end of the month. So what you can do as well is if you have, so I enjoy the AI tools. I find them fun and interesting, and I use them from the perspective of play and let's try this out and let's see what this tool says. Every tool on our planet can be used for good or bad, as can AI. So I'm not telling you that, oh my God, Emily the Mystic is obsessed with AI. I'm not, but I do think it's interesting, and I do think it can be a tool for this purpose. For what I'm about to share with you can be interesting to see. What you can do is you can plug into ChatGPT or another AI tool. Hey, AI tool, I have the eclipse happening, the lunar eclipse happening in Virgo, which is in my 5th house. What does that mean for me personally? Or you could say, hey, AI tool, you don't have to say, hey, AI tool. I don't know why I said that, but hey, AI tool, I have the solar eclipse in Aries happening in my 12th house. What does that mean for me personally? Just to get a little bit of personal insight about how it could be impacting you. So that could be a fun thing that you want to try. And the astrology wraps up at the end of March with a big planetary shift. The mystical, dreamy sign, or not sign, planet of Neptune is moving into the sign of Aries on March 30th. It's been in Pisces for a long time. So it has a big shift, big movement into Aries. So again, there's going to be a lot of activity in that sign of Aries. We're heading into Aries season. The sun is moving into Aries. So there's just a lot happening there. So I would especially look to your birth chart to see, okay, where is Aries in my chart? For me, again, that's 12th house. So there's going to be a lot of activity there. There's going to be a lot happening. There's going to be a lot that I need to focus on there. So depending on where your Aries falls in your chart, that can show you a lot and tell you a lot about what themes could be popping up for you personally this month. So that is an overall storyline about what to expect during the month ahead. Just hang in there. You're going to see me. If you don't already, please come find me on Instagram, Emily the Mystic. I post weekly mini energy updates every single Monday at 8 p.m. So you will see the most recent updated specific thing of what I'm talking about there. I'm also on my stories almost every single day talking about things. So there will be a lot there for you on Instagram. Things are happening at such a rapid pace on this planet right now that things could be totally different a week from today when I'm filming this. So you'll always see the most current energetic forecast and most current update on my Instagram page. So please come find me there. If you are curious about what's coming down the pipeline for me and the Emily the Mystic world this month, well, let me tell you, I am very excited. Everything I've shared with you today really lends well to a group mentorship that I'm hosting starting this month, starting tonight, specifically if you're listening to this on March 5th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. My new Divine Trust Manifestation Mentorship begins, which is built on the 3 pillars of divine trust in self, divine trust in others, and divine trust in the divine, the universe, God, your spirit guides, and every divine being, spirit itself. So this mentorship is designed to help you heal from things in your past that have caused you to have your trust broken. I find that broken trust is at the root of where you may feel like you are missing the mark in terms of your manifestation journey, and where you may feel like your own free will and ability to move forward in your life is being impacted. You may be subconsciously manifesting some things in your life, and I'm not saying that you manifest everything because I just told you at the beginning of this episode, there are things in your life that are fated and destined. But what I am trying to say is that in day-to-day life in general, there can be just nuances to the way that you live your life that when we get to the root of why your subconscious mind is viewing the world through that specific lens and that framework from your past, because maybe your trust was broken by somebody in your past or a circumstance or a trauma that you went through, when we can get to the root of those things and heal them, we will find that life unfolds a little bit more smoothly, that things happen a little bit more effortlessly, and that no matter what comes up in life, whether you get sick on your birthday like I did, you always know and trust that things are happening exactly for you in perfect divine timing. So that's what this mentorship is all about. We're starting tonight. So if you catch this at the right time, you may still be able to sign up. However, if you don't, I will be hosting this mentorship later on this year in 2025. And with that being said, doors will be opening very soon for light language lessons. If you've been wanting to learn light language with me and receive live channeled activations for activating your own cosmic and galactic connections, you're going to want to join light language lessons. It's a magical mentorship. We'll be starting in April. I will leave the link for the waitlist below in the show notes. And finally, the Akashic Records doors will be opening again soon. I will be teaching the Akashic Records in a new format that is going to be very exciting and that is going to be very spacious and very fun. So if you've been wanting to learn the Akashic Records with me, it's a great time to get on the wait list because you'll be the first to know when doors open for this incredible mentorship when we begin later on this spring. Now, with that being said, I always love to give you a little personal message to end these monthly energy forecasts. So I have some cards that I pre-pulled from a deck that I love that I think is very relevant to the month of March. So the deck that I am going to be pulling from is the Celtic Spirit deck, which I think is very perfect for this time of the year because in the United States and so elsewhere in the world, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. I have some Irish ancestry. So I love connecting with my own Celtic roots and Celtic lineage. So I'm excited to bring this deck to you today. So there are going to be 3 colors, and I'm going to invite you to select from the 3 colors which color intuitively means the most to you right now. And that is going to correspond to your message, okay? So the 3 colors are green, yellow, and gold. Green, yellow, and gold. Green, yellow, gold. All right, now that you've selected your color, let's get into it. So if you selected green, your card of the month is the pentagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, you get to see the visual. The pentagram, the 3 key words on here are protection, balance, and unity. Protection, balance, unity. So this card is all about finding a balance because the pentagram itself represents the 5 elements: air, earth, fire, water, and spirit. The pentagram is also a symbol and sign of protection. So when you draw this card, it is asking you to find balance and unity in your life. Where are you out of balance, and what do you need in order to find harmony? Maybe you're too fiery and quick to anger. Maybe you're lacking motivation or the fire to achieve what you desire. Are your emotions flowing like the water element? Are you holding back tears, or do they keep flooding out? Maybe you are feeling a bit scattered and need some grounding, or perhaps you are lacking guidance and need to work with the spirit realm more. Have you become rigid and need to be more fluid like air and move more? When we bring things back to a simple approach of looking for what is not in balance, we can begin to seek out for ourselves that which will bring back balance to our lives. Call on the element you need to help you. Go in search of the element and where it resides. So, for example, if you need more water in your life, go seek out a body of water. If you need more fire in your life, go seek out a candle. If you need more earth in your life and more grounding, go seek out a garden or get your bare feet on the grass. If you need more air in your life, go outside and take a nice deep breath of air. If you need more spirit in your life, take some time to connect with your spirit guides. This is a symbol of positivity and a symbol of protection so that you know that you are always divinely guided and protected at all times. And don't hesitate to reach out to your spirit team for support if you feel out of balance. So you may feel a little bit out of balance this month, and that's okay. This is an opportunity to see what you need in order to get back into your own personal harmony again. Okay. So that was for the color green. Now, if you selected the color yellow, your card is She of the Woods. She of the Woods. Peace, connection, home. When she reached out her senses, she realized she was not separate from nature. She is nature. When she slowed down and took a break, she realized she could find peace because peace needed to come from within her. She taps into source energy by taking time out for her, taking time to slow down, tune out, but tuning in and understanding that she is connected to everything. I feel like this message is so perfect for navigating perhaps collectively challenging or insane or crazy or wild or dramatic times, to connect with nature and to slow down a bit. This says, nature moves at a slow pace, and so should we. This is not an easy thing in the current world we live in, but is an increasingly necessary practice. We do a lot of reading about practices, but we don't do a lot of the actual work. We don't often take the time to meditate, walk in nature, or stop to just be. It's important more than ever to do the work, put the phone down, be in nature, ask nature to teach you, speak to nature, and allow it to guide you. We must find our way back to balance, peace, and rest. And don't be afraid to make a connection to the land that you live on. Have you asked the spirits of the place that you live in to show you how you can honor the land? A beautiful practice is to start by asking the land what it desires from you and how it wishes to connect with you. The land around you has wisdom that can be shared with you to help you find connection and finding your place of belonging. Oh, I love that so much. So relevant to everything we just spoke about. And card number, backing up here. If you selected the color gold, you get the portal card. We know Emily the Mystic loves a good portal. You get the portal card. You didn't listen to my birthday episode. There is a portal activation at the end of it that you should check out. But if you selected gold and you got the portal card, the 3 keywords are change, gateway, new beginnings. Now is the time to step through the portal. You've done the work, you've set up the foundations, now it's time to harvest what you've planted. Stepping through the portal, your life will be forever changed for the better. Portals do not appear for everyone, so know that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Sometimes we have given our all and start to lose the energy to get to the finish line, but you have made it. This is the finish line, but also the start of the next path. This is exciting. Finally, a new beginning is here, and it's time to give yourself a pat on the back for all the work you have done to bring you to this junction. Everything is in alignment, and all you need to do is step through the portal to embrace what is waiting for you on the other side. Once you've stepped through the portal, there is no going back to the old. It is gone and no longer needed. This also shows you that you are ready to let go of what no longer serves you. Embracing the new also means deciding what you now need for your future. What does this new phase of your life look like, and what space have you created to let in the new? Such a high vibrational card, and one full of wonderful new possibilities coming your way. Oh, I love that. What a beautiful message to end this episode. And I feel, so if you did not listen to that particular message and you're just tuning in here as I end the episode, the last card that was pulled was about the portal. And I really feel like March is a portal. I feel like it is a portal for things that we can't even anticipate or expect, but that are happening. And we just have to trust the process. Like no matter what, lean into just allowing it to unfold, trusting that everything is happening for your highest and greatest good. Allow yourself to just let it happen. Let it be. Don't have a sense of fear about it. Let life unfold in front of you. Instead of trying to force the issue, this is an opportunity to go with the flow, an opportunity to let life show you where you are going next, and to walk through this portal that is this month of March I feel like we are walking into and stepping onto an entirely new timeline. And I'm excited for us because I feel that even though things may feel crazy and uncertain and strange and we don't know what's happening next, I do know that you are guided and supported and protected every step of the way, as am I, as are all of us here in this community and your loved ones and everyone that matters to you. We are here on this journey together. We are evolving together and we are stepping into what's going to be a really incredible time to be alive. So there's no turning back. The only way out is through. Let's step through the portal together. Yay. I just got the chills. Cool. So fun. Thanks for listening to this episode. With all my love and joy, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you on Instagram and on YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your day. Portal is now closed for this episode, but the portal for March, it's open.